Welcome back to Broken COG, the Broken California Workers' Compensation System. I'm your host, Logan Figueroa. If you've ever wondered why the checks have stopped or why they never started at all, this episode could explain exactly why. In episode 3, we're breaking down temporary disability and permanent disability, how they work, when they're owed, and how insurers violate the law by delaying them. Temporary disability, or TD, is wage replacement. This is not optional, it is not discretionary, and it's not a favor. There are different aspects and classifications of temporary disability. Partial temporary disability is when you can work, but work less than your normal amount of hours. For example, if you normally work 40 hours a week and your injury causes you to work only 20, PTD covers the missed 20 hours. Total temporary disability, you are completely unable to work any hours. Payments usually are around 2/3 of your average weekly wages. For note, payments are not designed to cover your full income. TD is dependent on work restrictions. If a doctor takes you off work or restricts you so you can't earn your full wages, TD is triggered. TD starts 14 days from the date you first lose wages or hours because of the injury. Put a pin in that date because that date matters later. Once payments start, they're due every 2 weeks. Not monthly, not eventually, every 2 weeks. TD is not taxed, and for many injured workers, it's the only income they have. Late payments are violations and carry penalties. The law does not excuse delays. Every missed or late payment increases the insurer's exposure, but only if the delay is documented and challenged. Let's take, for example, how Labor Code 4815 subsection D penalties apply. A mandatory 10% penalty to each delayed payment. Let's say you make an average weekly wage of $1,500. You take that $1,500 and multiply it times 2/3, you'll end up with a $1,000 weekly TD benefit. Payments are made bi-weekly. Let's say a payment is due on June 1st, but isn't received on that day. A mandatory 10% penalty applies, even if it's late by 1 day. So you take the $2,000 for the bi-weekly payment, the 10% penalty, add them together, and you get $2,200. The next payment due date, 6/15, you should receive your normal TD payment of $2,000 plus the $2,200 from the previously owed payment, for a total of $4,200. If they fail again to pay, $4,200 times 10%, $420. You take that, you add that to the amount. So $4,620 plus $2,000 equals $6,620 due on the next payment date. The penalty applies to the entire amount past due and each missed payment. Permanent disability, it's a little different. PD is not about whether you're working. It's about permanent impairment caused by the injury. PD is based on medical evaluations, typically from a QME or an AME. These doctors assign a percentage called whole person impairment, or WPI. Each percentage point has a specific dollar value based on the year of injury. This is not guesswork, it's statutory math. Here's something insurers rarely explain. WPI ratings can be disputed. If the evaluation is incomplete, biased, or based on missing records, you are not required to accept it. Medical care directly affects PD. Where most claims break down, TD is delayed, PD is underpaid, and medical care is denied. These aren't accidents. They're systemic practices that rely on injured workers not knowing the rules. In the next episode, we're focusing entirely on medical coverage, what the employer must provide, and what happens when they don't. TD and PD are not favors, they are legal obligations, and delay is never neutral. If you find this information helpful, please like and subscribe. Follow us on Reddit as well as Instagram. Share this with someone who may need it. This is Broken Cox. We'll see you next time.